Hello and welcome to episode number 22 of my journey through Gran Turismo. So we're going to be starting menu book number 33, which is the World Touring Car 600 Championship. So again, it's going to be finishing the top three, and the max performance points can be 600. So we're going to head over to World Circuits. And head down to Championships at the bottom. Performance points 600 or less, and a National A licence is required. Obviously we do already have that. So we've got three races, race 1 at the Red Bull Ring, race 2 at Suzuka, and race 3 at Dragon Trail Seaside. So we're going to stick with the same car, so we're using the Alfa 4C on Racing Softs. So yeah, let's jump into it and see what happens. So obviously, if you did notice, our performance points are just under 600, and this is obviously this is the car that we've got closest to that. So just see how it goes. It is raining again. Yeah, so we'll just have to keep an eye on the surface water. Way too early for that. But yeah, so we've got a 5-lap race. Curb were a bit slippy. And that curb was very slippy. So we know that we've got to be extra careful now. On the curbs, especially. And we'll just see how we get on now. I may have to restart this race. I tried using the wet line there, but that really didn't help. Yeah, it's just locking up everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just retry that. Now I've got a bit more understanding of obviously what the grip levels are going to be like once the surface water starts building up. So try to gain as much time as we can in the early stages. Not make any silly mistakes like we did on the last attempt. Just switch over and have a look at the weather radar, which yeah, isn't looking fantastic. Still forgetting to avoid the curbs. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going to be best for this. I don't know if it's actually going to be a better idea to start on the intermediates, maybe even the wets. Just got caught up behind those other two cars there, and but yeah, so this is tricky. So again, just remembering to avoid those curbs while we're turning. So no, we are actually still catching the leader, and if you look at the weather radar, the rain is about to pass, so wet tyres probably wouldn't be, well, definitely wouldn't be an advantage. Intermediates probably wouldn't either. So it's just a case of keeping it on the track. And facing in the right direction for the these early few laps. Yeah, as you can see, we've not got the same sort of top speed that the other cars have. Which is causing us a few problems trying to get past when they're all bunching up in the corners as well. So that's not helpful. Still don't want to be on those curbs. So obviously, again, we can see that we're not gonna catch from there. Again, though, I've got more information of how the weather's going to change. A bit more knowledge of the braking zones in the different conditions as well. And yeah, just have to really try to not get caught up with the other cars and not get held up by them through the corners, which obviously, as I keep saying, is where we make all the time. Yeah, this is definitely a bit more challenging, which is good. Obviously sometimes it is, well no, it's never overly fun to have races that you can win extremely easily, but again there's also times where they are a bit frustrating. So obviously we've just got to ignore those braking zones as much as we can, because we obviously don't need to brake that early. It's completely disappeared this time. Yeah, it does get very, very slippy through that corner there. I think it's actually classed as turn 3, but I mean in theory it's the second turn. That wasn't very helpful. But it's not cost us too much. Just try to keep this Lambo on the outside. Yeah, it's I think mainly just lap 2 that you just have to be extremely careful. Obviously it was just my mistake into the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Oh, curb's just sent me sideways. Yeah, I just broke a little bit too late. As I say though, it's difficult when the conditions are constantly changing. Obviously you can brake in one place one lap and have enough grip to do that, and then next lap it just locks up and sends you flying. As we've just seen there, I broke in basically the exact same place as I did last lap, but last lap I locked up and luckily in a way we had a car that we could sort of just run into to slow us down a bit. Meant we didn't just go flying into the gravel and lose even more time. Just had a twitch on that curb. Had to straighten up, which then pushed me wide. Just gonna try get up the inside into the final corner. So we are catching the leader, but not very quickly, and we do have a big group battling. I knew that was going to happen. So we had a massive group battling for second position, But with them all being where they were, it was very difficult for me to get onto a dryish part of the track, and obviously being on the curbs wasn't the best idea. But I also didn't really want to go on the inside because there'd have been a lot of standing water there as well. So yeah, obviously I did have to use the curb again then. So I did just lift off the throttle as I passed over it. In the wrong gear through there. Yeah, so basically the best position we could have got then was second, but again I've made another mistake. Yeah, sorry, this isn't going as well as I'd hoped. So yeah, let's retry it. I know this really isn't ideal. But we do know the win probably is more than possible. It's just a case of not making the mistakes that we have been. But yeah, it really doesn't help that you start over 30 seconds behind the leader either. What? Come on, man. So yeah, as you can see, we were going down the outside into the braking area, and he just turned into me, pushed me flying off track. So luckily we were far enough past that time. Almost made the mistake of braking on the curb again. Well, I did brake on the curb, but just managed to not have it end up in a spin, and I wasn't paying attention to him braking then. But yeah, the main issue with this is the fact that if you try go offline to overtake, you don't know where the grip is or how much grip there's going to be where you are. So yeah, you've just got to be extra careful. We're gonna brake early for this on this lap, and yeah, we've just about got around there. Cheers for push. So yeah, the trouble again now is that we're gonna end up catching a big group of cars. So it's just gonna be a case of being extremely careful. When trying to get past them. I've just seen the car that'll end up getting into the lead has just moved up into third. So being this close at this point should help quite a bit. Currently getting boxed in by first and second. Which is very helpful. Caught way too much inside curb then. So again, yeah, we've just got to be extra careful going up into here now. we have managed to do, and we're within 4.5 seconds with 2 laps to go. Although getting that wrong really didn't help. We are still setting purple sectors, so obviously the track conditions are getting better and better. Again, we just got squeezed out. Pushed onto the curb, which almost ended up in a spin again. So obviously they've decided a different car can be fastest this time. And we're obviously not gonna quite catch them, even with a much cleaner run. We did get the fastest lap on the last lap there, but unfortunately, yeah, ended up in 4th. So we're just gonna have to see how the other 2 races go, and yeah, go from there. May end up requiring a change of car, but we'll just have to see. Obviously it's always going to be a lot more difficult in the rain, or in the wet at least, because you never seem to be able to make up the same sort of advantage that you usually can in the dry. Come on, don't just park it on the apex again. So yeah, again though, this is another track where it's just not going to be that easy to make overtakes. There's a lot of sort of sweeping one-line corners. Start us 35 seconds behind this time. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the table in the top left to see sorry, what I was going to say was to see where the top three from last race are. Yeah, just making a lot of mistakes today for some reason, which really isn't helpful, but sure, as you all know, it's easy to do. We all have off days. So I think we've just passed the car that came third last race, so that obviously helps in terms of the championship, and I think first and second are currently fifth and third, fifth and second now. So yeah, we do really need to try and get up there. Well, we need to get the race win. Couldn't talk then. So it is another 5-lap race again. And we do seem to have basically half the gap after 2 laps. So yeah, looks like we're sort of 10 seconds a lap faster. So we've just passed the car that won the last race. And we've just gotten within 10 seconds of the leader, which is actually now the car that came second in race 1. So it would actually be helpful if he had a little crash, but unfortunately I can't see that happening. we should have a bit of a cleaner run at this lap now. We had a fair bit of traffic last lap. We caught second there in the perfect place. So nice, simple overtake. And yeah, we're over a second and a half up on our fastest lap. And I know time was gained in the final sector of the last lap as well. So there could potentially be a 2:13 in there somewhere. Actually, well, don't need the weather radar on. Just outside of it. Yeah, it's got us almost within a second. And that really wasn't the time to have a big slide, but we'll dive up his inside into it. Oh no, he's going to just drive at the apex, but we did manage to get past. So yeah, I think definitely with this car it's just minimising the amount of slide you get going through the corners, which does really gain you a lot of time. As you can see, we're really stable through the two left-handers back in Spoon Corner, and again over 4/7 of a second just in that sector, which does put the optimal at a 13.5. So yeah, there was a 13 in there, just a case of actually putting a lap together that can get you that. So yeah, that moves us up into second in the championship and puts us 1 point behind Cockpit. So we'll head to race number 3. And this really isn't going to be overly fun if we catch cars in the wrong places on the track, especially into what's known as Death Chicane. But yeah, we'll just have to do the best we can as always. But yeah, you do have to be extremely careful on some of these curves around this track as well. If you catch them slightly wrong, they will just send the car flying. Why are you so hard on brakes there? Yeah, I could really do with getting past both of these before we get into the chicane, which we've just about managed. Although there were some bumping and barging, but so it's looking again like we are going to have to win the race, with the leader of the championship in second already. We are actually already in front of the car that's in third. Far too much curb. Well, just went too wide on the curb, sorry, going into there, but I'm just, looks like I'm trying to make a mess of this. But we do have 2.5 laps left, and we're within 6 seconds of the leader. So I do think we do have a decent chance at this. Just again want to get past before we get into the chicane. So yeah, if you look back now, I mean, nearly 2 seconds in front of Gallo that we just passed going into there. Really can't afford to lose that sort of time. Just through one corner. Yeah, luckily for us, it does look like the leader of the championship is struggling to get past the current car leading the race. That is just making it obviously a lot easier for us to catch up. I knew that were going to happen. So yeah, it just ended up being too close behind the two cars in front. They decided to brake the whole way through the chicane, and it just meant that I was on a completely wrong line. Which, yeah, so I caught one of the curbs a bit too much, which ended up spinning me. I'm just going to push as hard as I can now, and hope that got just enough to get back to him. I mean, in a way, I'm hoping that I can not get too close to them going into the chicane, which can mean I can pass them on the exit of the chicane. Because I'll be carrying a lot more speed. Which is exactly what has happened. So yeah, I am glad that is over. But yeah, we did obviously manage to get the first, and Cockabun only managed third, which even obviously if he was second we'd have still got first in the championship. But yeah, so it's just that race 1 really that is the problem. So yeah, that gives us the championship win, and we get a gift card. So I'm gonna take the left one again, which has gone back to being the worst one. If I'd have picked the central one, which is what I used to do, that would have been the best one. So yeah, typical. But anyway, not a problem. So yeah, we'll just head back to the cafe to complete the menu book. And what I think I will do at some point as well is just do a video on that first race at Red Bull in the wet, and try and get the win in that one, and figure out obviously what I need to do that. So we have unlocked Catalonia as well, and that moves us on to menu book number 34, which is the AMG collection. So yeah, that's everything for this episode. I mean, I would be very thankful if you've made it this far. I know the start was not good. Obviously I had to retry quite a few times. Obviously I have to make mistakes a fair few times, and even in the second and third race made mistakes in those too, but we did obviously achieve the main goal in the end, which was winning the championship. So yeah, thank you for watching, and bye for now.